Hi, I'm Jimster71, and seeing as it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to be taking a look at the 7 things we love about VR. So don't go anywhere. It's Valentine's Day and love is in the air, which got me thinking about the things we love about VR. So we'll kick things off with number 1, being inside the game. Watching the movie Tron as a kid, I always thought it'd be really cool to actually be inside the video games that I love to play, although perhaps without the computer trying to kill you. With VR, it brings that dream to life and takes you past the 4th wall. There's something special about being totally immersed in a game world, where you're able to see the true scale of the landscapes and fully interact with the various items and inhabitants. The level of atmosphere that a VR game creates can make you feel like you're actually there. This is the main thing about VR that you really need to experience for yourself in order to get it. If you haven't tried it yet, find a friend with a headset and give it a go. You may love it as much as I do. Being immersed in game worlds leads nicely on to number 2, connecting with game characters. With regular games, when you play as a particular character or talk to NPCs, it's like you're interacting with a movie, which gives you a degree of separation. In VR, it's like those characters are physically in the same space as you, which gives you a greater sense of connection. Being interrogated by a gangster in London heist has a much greater impact when they're inches away from your face and look as solid as they would in real life. Even when controlling a third-person character, like in Astrobot or Moss, VR makes that character seem much more alive than they would in a regular game. This also applies to the enemies you encounter. Taking on a dragon in Skyrim is a much more daunting proposition when you can see it towering above you. And this relates to number 3, revisiting our favourite games in VR. Skyrim is just one example of an existing game that's been re-engineered for VR. Making the jump from a regular version of a game to VR allows you to re-experience what you loved about the original in a totally new way. Racing futuristic craft in Wipeout is more of an adrenaline rush when you're actually sitting there in the cockpit. Resident Evil is trouser-spoilingly scary when you can hear creepy noises all around you and you could be face to face with unspeakable horrors at any moment. It's not all about the in-your-face experiences though. The sense of wonder when visiting a new planet in No Man's Sky, or just hanging out with Trico in the Last Guardian demo, is made that much more special in VR. Next we're on to number 4, getting fitter by playing video games. Now playing video games is normally a sedentary experience. You're usually sitting on the sofa or at a desk, and the most exercise you're likely to get is reaching over to pick up a drink or chewing on a snack. All that changes with VR gaming. A lot of VR games are best played standing up, and most will have you moving around or flailing your arms about. Games like Beat Saber or Box VR will have you working up a sweat and can even be used to help improve your fitness or lose weight, all while having a lot more fun than you would down at the gym. If you are planning to get hot and sweaty in VR this Valentine's Day, be sure to use some form of protection so your headset doesn't end up smelling a bit funny. On to number 5, experiencing things you wouldn't in real life. Now most people won't get to do things like walk on the moon, fly in a wingsuit, or climb Mount Everest. The immersion of VR brings you a step closer to knowing what these sorts of things would really be like. As well as being really cool, there's a huge potential for education. You're more likely to remember experiencing something firsthand than reading about it in a book or watching a video. This gives the messages in these experiences a lot more impact, and with the likes of Google Maps in VR, you can now literally visit anywhere in the world from the comfort of your living room. And this brings us on to number 6, constant innovation. Things are still in the early stages for VR, and it's only recently reached the point where you would be confident about an introduction to your parents. Much like the early days of regular gaming, you have a lot of smaller independent teams trying things out, to see what works and what doesn't. Sometimes things don't quite live up to expectations, but the excitement of clicking with a particular game or mechanic makes the search worthwhile. Developers are often putting their heart and soul into the games they create, and are the pioneers that are forging the future of VR gaming. So give them a round of applause. They deserve it. Last but not least, we get on to number 7, the VR community. With its often high price of entry and relatively small user base, the VR community could have easily turned into an exclusive club that scoffed at those trying to join in. But nothing could be further from the truth. Most of the people who love VR want to share their passion with the world, and are eager to help newcomers get on board. From the players you find in online games, to those who are creating content and spreading the word on social media, the VR community is one of the friendliest I've encountered in gaming. And this includes you for taking enough of an interest in VR to check out this video. So give yourself a pat on the back for being awesome. I've been Jimster71, thanks for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, a dislike if you didn't, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until then, be excellent to each other, and bye for now.